Do you believe the story? Do y'all believe it? Do you believe Travis Walton's story?
Yeah.
I do too. Do you know he's never wavered on his story, and all of them, except for one, I think, who came back, I don't think it came back wrong, but all of them tested positive for their lie detector test, and none of them have ever wavered. And I think the one just came out where they couldn't tell if he was lying or not. So they've all stayed with the same story, you know? It's so fucking scary. It's so effing scary. Yeah. So that's one of the scary, that and Communion are two of the scary.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Christopher Walken, right? Yeah.
I love Christopher Walken. Okay, in anything, by the way, in anything. But yeah, you know, he may have had a hand in Natalie Wood's death. Okay, so, you know, we all.
Yeah, that's true. No, that's good because, Lisa, because you know your shit. And that is like, people don't even know that side of him.
He might have just stayed quiet, you know, and let things lie as they were.
We don't know. We don't know.
We don't know. But he's a great actor, so we can't let it go. But yeah, Communion. But Fire in the Sky. Okay, that potato alien, the one that's got like the potato face. Oh my
god, yeah.
And when they're like getting ready to probe him, and it like does the little look over, and it's like, oh my god, that thing haunted my dreams for the longest time. The potato face thing.
The latex with when the jelly in the mouth and then the eye gets and the needle coming in and
on the eyeball. Yeah, like your worst nightmare. And then if you hear his real story, it's like 10 times more terrifying. So apparently there's these humanoid people that he say come in and talk to him that look like humans, talk like humans, but the eyes were weird and like they didn't blink and shit. So I think that would have been an even creepier part to put in the movie. But I like the way they executed it. The acting is just spot on, though.
Yeah.
Like, I agree with you. They get that like weird mountain vibe, you know, that inner, you know, with the hysteria at the small town and everybody's upset and who's lying, who's not. You know, I think they nailed it, you know, very well in that movie.
I mean, and all of them really. And I know, just to bring it back to kind of horror, because we're all into that, but and I looked up the cast before, but I think Bradley Gregg is in this, and from Nightmare on Elm Street 3, the one that got his, you know, the puppet mask.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's amazing.
And Patricia Arquette, who we were just talking about in Nightmare 3. So those two, we can tie that back into horror too.
Wow.
Oh, and Nightbreed, of course.
I love Nightbreed. Oh my god. I just have to watch Nightbreed again. I'm so glad you reminded me of that. I love Nightbreed.
Craig Sheffer.
Who's Craig Sheffer in Fire in the Sky? Which character?
He's the like the manly one that's like, I ain't dealing with this shit. You know,
oh wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Wow,
that's so cool.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that connection.
Yeah, I'd forgotten all about that guy, but I had to look it up just to see the cast right before we got on.
Yeah, it's like you go to the Roswell UFO Museum, which I recommend whether you love or hate. It's so disturbing and mind-blowing. And there's a whole section on Travis Walton, and there's a plethora of newspaper clippings, the police report, all this stuff, his sketches of what they look like. And it is just like, it's just like hands down to me, like from what you see in that museum under the display case, I just believe it definitely happened. And again, like you said, they signed all these affidavits and the lie detectors. Like, it just makes too much sense. And like you said, Lisa, it goes in the UFO museum. There's more of like going into detail of how he escaped, and like you see the 1975 like clipping from Arizona and New Mexico that are talking about this story. Like, it's really like chilling to see. Like, holy shit! Like.
And the thing with that is too, I'm a huge, UFO buff too. And the thing with that is, with all those details and all those factual things and the lie detectors, even if it was some sort of a black ops thing that a government put on, it still is something that could have physically happened to these people. You know what I mean? Right. Like, even if you don't believe in something extraterrestrial or something spiritual, you still could have a physical, military operation. You never know. So it could have been any, across the gamut. It's possible.
It's interesting because in the movie, there's like that quick second, like in every UFO case in the history of the world, history of America, obviously a lot of Native American grounds are powerful, supernatural. Yeah. So there's like a quick shot where like they're looking for Travis and they see a Native American in the distance, and it's like, then he disappears, and it's not a ghost. It's just like, they're wandering into that part of like Native American territory. And it's like, I mean, again, those little things the movie does so nuanced that are like collective of so many UFO stories and the connection to Native Americans and these
Right.
parts of the world. And it's just, and then like, again, I watched it recently, like I was telling Lisa, and then I'm now starting to look into like Skinwalker Ranch. Like that's
Oh
such another
God, that
world of like,
scares me so
what is
much.
going on there? Like that's insanity. I'm terrified, but I'll go there with you, Lisa. Like that, I'll spend the night and
I'd go.
We'll go check it out.
I'll go in a heartbeat. Yeah, I'd go. I'd go
That
to
I
those
would do,
places.
man, because that's like, what the hell is going on there? That's
Did you see that video that the guy has where he's and you know it could be faked. I don't know if it's real or not, but it's really creepy nonetheless. But like it's two dudes driving in a car and there's a guy that looks like he's off in the shrubbery and they're like,
Yeah.
"Hey, are you okay?" And like he could be just on meth, but like he literally, it is like the creepiest way that he moves and like it speaks back to them. And the weird thing is, yeah, as they get ready to go, he starts running on like all fours, and it just
oh my
yeah,
God.
it's such a creepy video. And like, you know, these guys swear that this is legitimate. And like, it very well could just be a guy on drugs. But there's something about the way the guy moves and the fact that, gee, it was near the Skinwalker Ranch that makes it so creepy.
Well, I think that's a part of why I would go to that and to a
Me
haunted
too.
place,
I totally would as well.
I mean, I know these. And I know we all absorb and watch those videos, and some of them we want to know they're real, and some of them we want to believe they're real. But I want it to happen, even though it'd be terrifying, and I'd probably shit my pants. But it would be, you know, it'd be like I want to know that badly. So I don't know.
Here's the thing about the Skinwalker thing. Again, just being a historian, where it's like you deep dive with history and like whatever I'm writing on, or like if you want to get into history, like when you get into land deals and the real estate value and the contracts are like, it's such a part of when you start to really deep dive into historical events. And that's what's interesting about Skinwalkers, that there's some really significant, really strange land deals that are being done over the last 10 years of mega corporations and government contracted. Like there's just too much weird real estate. When you follow the real estate trail, there's definitely has to be something going on there, that the government is connected to some of these property sales, and that, you know, like, it just says that there's definitely something powerful going on there that they're trying to contain. And the guy that, like, you know, went into the History Channel TV show they did on it, like he gave up and sold it, and the people he sold it to have government connections. Like, just when you look at that paper trail, it's like something's going on there, because have the government involved, like there's got to be something shady happening that's supernatural or black ops connected. Like that's why, like, let's go, let's book it, Airbnb. Skinwalker,
right? And what's the Blink 182 guy? Tom DeLonge. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I've followed this stuff forever, and then all of a sudden this happens, and then it kind of goes quiet, and it's really, I don't know. It's confusing to me. I want to believe things, and I want to, you know, I know a lot of things like you guys, I'm sure, have, you know, figured out the things that can be verified versus what's just being said. But I don't know. It's all confusing. I'm willing to experience it, though.
That's what I mean. It's like when you have so many these huge land deals with Skinwalkers, when you look up that, and that like when those are facts and you can research that and see that, like that just says to me that there's something going on, man. To have like government connected realtors and whatever suddenly jumping into these things that
isn't there like a term for that, like the 411 theory or something, or something like that? It's something about that, right? Because it's like that specific land or something where all these weird phenomena, missing, disappearances, and things like that happen. Strange things happen. And also, from what I understand, there's also like architectural phenomena that they can't explain. And it's like the way that I can't quite explain it all. I'm not doing it justice, but I know what you're talking about. It's creepy.
No, you're right. It's like they jumped into it so quickly, like before the History Channel show and after, like that. The deals to buy the property did then suddenly fall under these very weird government titles that keep like the public from like coming around and like just make it more and more like private and because it's like it just shows that there's something going on, that like someone's becoming more and more aware of that this is like a really big hot spot of everything going on. Alien, supernatural, whatever, that like we need to start making this more and more private from the public, because they're trying to contain something. Like I'm not being like paranoid, but like you do the research, it's just too weird, because you don't see a million people buying up Amityville and all these other places. Like to have like these government connected like properties have been buying Skinwalker Ranch.
It's so epic creepy. God knows what they're all doing.
Suddenly there's more gates up and there's more no trespass. It's just like, it's just too weird.
It is too weird. Yeah, that's totally creepy. Yeah, I would not want to live anywhere near Skinwalker Ranch, but I would definitely stay the night. I would definitely stay the night as long as I knew like an Uber was coming to get my ass, or I had a rent a car ready to go. And I'm not for any funny shit. So like the first time something like a doppelganger or something like that came up looking like me, I'd be out. I'd be like, get you on my cell phone, put your ass on TikTok, and out. I'm not.
Yeah, no, I know. You're right. I guess, I don't know. I would have to visit. Yeah, I like to go visit. It'd be interesting to see what happens, but I wouldn't do it alone. I would have to be with somebody. And you're right. The minute anything fucked up happens, I'm like you said,
I was with a bunch of people one time. We were going to go look. There was this thing called, my grandpa lived in Montgomery, Alabama. And so, wow. A lot of slavery stuff happened there. Like the whole freaking civil rights movement happened there. And so in this very particular place, it's called 13 Bridges. And the reason is because the Underground Railroad was underneath it. And there were 13 bridges that they had to kind of look for as landmarks. And a lot of people passed between those bridges. So you're supposed to go park at the end and wait to see a ghost. So we go out there at night, not thinking anything's going to happen. We wait an hour, bored as can be. And I'll never forget this. I was like pissed off, bored. And I'm like, I had to pee at this point. So I'm like, I'm not going to want to go in the, haunted goddamn woods to go pee. So I'm like, well, let's get the fuck, let's go. I get out of the car, I step in front, and I was like, well, we're not going to see anything. And right about the time I said that, it looked like, the only way I can explain it is like, it looked like people had flashlights going like this. And I literally like had that fight or flight reaction. And I was so terrified. But there's no way or no reasoning why anybody would have been out there in the middle of the night. Wow. That people don't hunt out there. Nothing like that happened. So yeah, that was, for me, it was all fun and games until that happened. When that happened, I was like, we're out. Let's go. That's enough. Like, everybody pack up the car. Lisa wasn't fucking around. I was starting it up. I was like, anybody who wants to stay, you can stay, but I am out. This bitch is gone. So many people.